All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Waharkakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out here toiling in his truth. I'm Pathakamath, GMS Dallas. I'm just back at you with a quick hit, really quick, to the point type lesson. A quick hit, back from YouTube jail. They've been had me locked up for a week, all week on a video, that we did one of our street teachings, which I'm the only one that they, deleted my video and gave me a strike on it. The other brothers, they got it uploaded and the it's still on their pages. So I don't know, for some reason I'm on their radar, man. And they go through my pages, through my page, and I get like a message every other day that they deleted another video, man. A lot of them they're not giving me strikes on, but they're deleting the videos. So, and of course we get it, what I'm saying? They're making a man an offender for a word. Of course, at the end of the day, famine of the word is coming. All these things are Bible prophecy, Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. So all these things are to be expected. They must needs be, they have to come to pass in order to get to the next phase of things. So it's all good. We ain't tripping, hey, do your thing, Esau. It's all good. But, real quick, just through the spirit, I've been meditating. I was meditating on this. And it started coming together beautifully through the spirit, because I've been dealing with Christians here lately. I've been dealing with a particular Christian, and of course, on different topics: hell, and heaven, hell, reincarnation, who can be saved, all of these different things that Christians have no clue as to what's going on. But really quick, just dealing with salvation, and it came to me. I was reading. And, they love to go to what you see it on the screen right here, Romans, the 10th chapter, and verse 12. And I'm going to read it. This is Romans 10 and 12. And it reads, "For there is no difference between the Jew and the Greek, for the same Lord over all is rich unto all that call upon him." So they run here because it says there's no difference between the Jew and the Greek. They think that the Greek represents the Edomites, the heathen nation of Esau, man, which is not what this is talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? First of all, the Lord said, and let me get that real quick, and then we'll come back. Let me read this real quick. Let's get this real quick. This is 1 Corinthians 14 and 33, and it reads, "For the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches of the saints." And of course, we know that's the churches of the Israelites, man. The saints are the Israelites, pursuant to Psalms 50, in verse 5, Psalms 148, in verse 14, and Psalms 149, verses 1 and 2. It tells you who the saints are. They're the Israelites. And in these times, it's talking about the elect of the nation of Israel, because the Lord is not dealing with the entire nation in these times. Pursuant to Zechariah 13 and 8, 2 parts are going to be cut off and die. So it's talking about the elect. But overall, ultimately, it's dealing with the Israelites. So the Lord is not the author of confusion, man. So let's go back. Romans 10 and 12, "For there is no difference between the Jew and the Greek, for the same Lord over all is rich unto all that call upon him." And that's the all that call upon him is dealing with the Israelites. That's the Greek here. And really, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the original Greeks were Japhetic. You know what I'm saying? The original Greeks were Japhetic. And again, if I'm wrong, correct me, but I believe the original Greeks were Japhetic, not these pale-faced Edomites, man. You know what I'm saying? But of course, we know that Esau goes through and conquers lands. He conquers people, and then he takes on their heritage, like it says in the book of, I believe it's is it Micah or Hosea? I can't remember which one it's in. I believe it's in Micah though. And he covets lands, and even takes on a man's heritage. You know what I'm saying? He becomes those people. He takes the identity of those people, man. This nigga is everybody on the planet except who he actually is, which is Esau, Edom, man. You know what I'm saying? So no difference between the Jew and the Greek, just with that knowledge and understanding, disqualifies him. You got to put that X right there. So who is the Greeks here? Actually, these Greeks are Israelites, foreigners, in the who are in the mindset, who've taken on the ways and customs of the Greeks, man. During this time, there's a Hellenization period that happened. Look up Hellenization, the Hellenization period of the Israelites, man. And that's what this is going into. So the Lord has always been about his own people. That's why we make the points of why is there no other nations mentioned here, only the Greeks. No difference between the Jew and the Greek. So the Lord is just going to save his people and then he's going to go save the Greeks, but no other nation. Come on, man. That's confusion. No, man. These Greeks are Israelites, man. And I got a scripture, which I want to prove that real quick, right? Just by doing this right here, Acts the 6th chapter. And let me parallel real quick. But I want the NIV. And watch this right here. I'm gonna read it in the KJV to the right, left of your screen. Then we're gonna go to the right and read it, and the right is gonna break it down. And it says, Acts 6:1, KJV. And in those days, when the number of the disciples were multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians against the Hebrews. So there's your Jew and Greek right there. There it is. So there arose a murmuring of the Grecians, the so-called Greeks, against the Hebrews, the Jews, because their widows were neglected in the daily ministration. Now we're going to jump to the right of the screen and read it in NIV, and it's going to clearly break down who those Grecians are. It says, Acts 6:1 in the NIV, in those days, when the number of disciples was increasing, the Hellenistic Jews, which are your Grecians, the Greeks, among them complained against the Hebraic Jews, the Hebrews right there, because their widows were being overlooked in the daily distribution of food. So they're all Israelites, man. The Hellenistic, those are the Greeks. They took on the customs and ways of the Greeks. That's why they will be being called Greeks. They were Israelites. But it says it right there. The Hellenistic Jews among them complained against the Hebraic Jews. So that's your Grecians and your Hebrews, or your Jews and Greeks. So that tells you, let me take the parallel off real quick. I don't need that anymore. That tells you who it's talking about, Salakia, in Romans the 10th chapter. Let's read it one more time, but then I got something else. For there is no difference between the Jew and the Greek, for the same Lord over all is rich unto all that call upon him, all of the Israelites that call upon him. That's what this is going into, because that no difference between the Jew and the Greek are talking because they're all Israelites. Those are just the Hellenistic or Hellenized Israelites, opposed to those who know that they're Israel or knew that they were Israelites. You know what I'm saying? The Jews. So, but real quick, just to further cut that, because they say that all can be saved if you just believe in Jebus and accept him as your Lord and Savior, you can be saved. So Esau can be saved. So this in itself is going to prove that that's a lie, man. Everybody can't be saved, So when I make this point, you're going to have to go even further with it. You know what I'm saying? Because is the Lord just going to disqualify one nation? Come on, man. Stop, bro. So when you go to Romans, the 9th chapter, and we're going to jump down to verse 21, I believe. Romans 9:21. Well, first of all, let's jump up to verse 13. I want to make this point real quick. This Romans 9:13. It says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Now, where is that written at? It's written in the book of Malachi, the 1st chapter. You know what I'm saying? In the Old Testament. And it's being reiterated and here in the New Testament, man. You know what I'm saying? So it says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So this proves that the Lord is still in this mindset. He's still about this. He still hates Esau, which Jacob and Esau represent nations of people. So real quick, let's prove that. Let's go to the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter. And we're going to jump down to verse 23, I believe. As a matter of fact, I'll jump up and we'll get a little context. Genesis 25:21. The point is in verse 23. And it reads, and Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. So the Lord, Isaac went to the Lord and prayed and begged to the Lord for him to allow his wife to be able to become pregnant because her womb was barren. And the Lord entreated him. He answered the prayer, and Rebekah became pregnant. She conceived. Verse 22, and the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. So she went to a prophet of the Lord asking, if this is of the Lord, why are my babies in my womb trying to kill each other? Basically is what she's asking him. If this is of the Lord, why are my babies fighting and trying to kill each other in my womb? Well, the Lord is going to answer. Here's the answer, and here's the point. Verse 23, and the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated. So the Lord is a separatist. He ain't about all that, we are the world. He ain't about that shit. Cut it out, man. That Michael Jackson spirit is dead, man. The Lord is a separatist. He does not want his people mixing and mingling with these other nations, man, and their madness, their crap, their BS and nonsense, man, because they're outside of the temple. They don't have the laws. Jacob has the laws, man. Psalms 147, 19 and 20. You know what I'm saying? He showeth his word to Jacob, his laws, his statutes, and his judgments unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. And that's why these Chinese, these Moabites, and I make this point before, can go and eat whatever, eels and squid and frogs, eat them alive, mind you, and they can go run a 100-mile marathon. But you try that, you Jakes, you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negroid descent, if y'all try that madness, you're going to find out real quick that it don't work for you, man. You're going to get high blood pressure, might have a heart attack or a stroke. You know what I'm saying? You might fall dead on the spot, but you're going to get some type of condition that's going to jack you up for eating that crap, man, because you're under the laws. They're outside of the temple, you know what I'm saying, which are outside of the laws of the Lord, man. They're not Israelites, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why they can get away with these. Now, overall, ultimately, they're not going to get away with it. They're going to be punished for the things that they're doing. But right now, you get punished immediately. But this proves the 2 nations. Or it says 2 nations. And when you jump down to the verse 25, it's going to prove who they are. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that, his brother Salakia. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. So that's going into the birth of the twins, which represents 2 nations. We just read it in verse 23. So, but just to prove, I don't want to get too far off topic, but just to prove, just real quick, we're going to go to Amos, the 3rd chapter, just to prove the point that you can't do the things that these nations do. Amos 3 and 1. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel. So it's the Israelites, against the whole family, all 12 tribes, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. That's all the other nations, man. He created 18 nations. So he says, I chose you of all these other nations, these other families that I created of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. There you go. He's going to punish you. He ain't punishing them. That's why they can go run that marathon. You know what I'm saying? After eating abominably. You know what I'm saying? The things that we're, the scriptures, there's a dietary law, in the laws, and which of course Christians teach the laws are done away with which they're not, or these things will not be happening to Jake in these, in these times, the Israelites in these times, they get all these ailments, gout, and, all kind of, high blood pressure, heart attack, strokes, all kind of crap is happening to them because of how they're eating. The dietary laws, man. The Lord said, don't eat it, man. They're on dialysis and all kind of crap because they're eating and going against the laws, trying to soak stuff in Coke. And I'm like, dude, that's why you're on dialysis now. You through because you're going against the laws of the Lord, man. And he's punishing you. But these people can't see it. But it's all good. So I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to go too far off topic. But that proves the nations. So let's go back to Romans, the 9th chapter. And I don't want to make this too long. It's becoming longer than I had planned already. This is Romans, the 9th chapter and verse 21. Because we read in verse 13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. Those are the 2 vessels. So we're going to read about it right here. We're going to jump down to verse 21. Romans 9 and 21 which we know Jacob and Esau are nations. They represent nations of people. 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. Separated. The Lord is a separatist. And if you continue to read, it goes on how one of those nations are stronger than the other, and you can clearly see who that is. We're the best in everything we do. We're better than them. If we box against them, we're gonna beat them in boxing. We're gonna beat them in running. We're gonna beat them in singing. We're gonna beat them in athletics and sports. Everything. We're better than them. We're better lovers. More endowed. Everything. We're better than them. We're better people. And if you have a so-called white that's got these abilities and these or what the Bible says is the portion of the Lord, that's because they're Israelites. We teach that here at GMS, the scattered seed that's not going to come looking like Israel, the typical normal Israelite, but the other nations, man. So there's scattered seed among all these nations that is going to come looking like these other nations that go back to Israel. That's why you have people like Bruce Lee that we believe is an Israelite, And then you have others. There's a basketball player that I like to make the point of, Jason Williams. A few years ago, was in the league some years ago. Name was Jason Williams, so-called white boy. They called him white chocolate. You know what I'm saying? Handles off the. He was bad, man. Bad dude, but he had flavor out of this world, man. If you just go check that dude out. His name is Jason Williams. You know what I'm saying? Those type of people are scattered seed. They look like the other nations, but they're Israelites. As a matter of fact, those Asians, I can't remember the name of the group. They're a group. They rap and they sing. And I did a lesson some months ago, maybe last year. I can't remember. And of that scattered seed. Going into that. And there's certain of these Asians that they dance their ass off. They can rap. They're cold, man. They got that portion of the Lord, man. That the normal, ordinary heathen can't do, man. They don't have it. So those are those Israelites among those other nations that's going to come looking like those other nations. So anyway, going back, it says, Romans 9:21, had not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? And we now know the vessels of honor is Jacob, whom the Lord loved, and the vessels of dishonor is Esau, whom the Lord hates to this very day. He still hates him, So in verse 22, it says, what if the Most High, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endure with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? So the vessels of wrath, those vessels of dishonor, which we now know as Esau, are vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. So let's get this word wrath real quick. Let's get this word wrath real quick. Salakia. My bad, Salakia. I do that from time to time. It's G3709.
Strong's G3709.
Argay. And it says anger, natural disposition, temper, character, a violent emotion, any violent emotion, anger, wrath, indignation, anger exhibited in punishment. There it is. Yeah, exactly. Destruction. Hence used for punishment itself, of punishment inflicted by magistrates. So, punishments, anger, punishments, violent emotion, wrath, indignation, which is righteous anger. All these things are that's what that wrath is going into. So they are the wrath. They are the vessels of wrath, that violent emotion, those punishments fitted to destruction. So they're fitted to it. Anything fitted. As a matter of fact, let's get a definition of fitted real quick. So I know it's gonna go to hats like an idiot. I want the definition. My phone takes all day, man. Satan. And it says fitted.
Fitted.
So it says made or shaped to fill a space or to cover something closely or exactly. Yeah, exactly. Attached to. It's attached to them. It's exactly for them. If you go to a tuxedo shop or some place that fits people's clothes, they're going to take your precise measurements. Your measurements are different from someone else's measurements. So they're going to take your measurements and they're going to fit that and make that suit to fit you. So it's tailor made to fit you. It's for you. Somebody else try to put that suit on, it's not going to fit them like it'll fit you. Exactly. Just like we just read. Exactly in that first definition. So it's attached or provided with a particular component or article. So, but it's that fitted, it's attached to them, and it's exactly for them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that fitted represents. You know what I'm saying? Which I knew was going to bring those hats up. So like, yeah, my phone got to go through this period where I'm like, wow, man, my phone is moving so slow. And of course it's going to do this right now with me trying to do this lesson. You know, Ephesians 6, man. All day. So, those vessels of wrath, that violent emotion, punishments, anger, fitted exactly, attached to them exactly to their proportion to destruction. So that in itself proves, and that's talking about Esau, the Edomites, the so-called self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child. So right there, that disqualifies them from being able to receive salvation, because they're vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, man. They're going to be destroyed. That's their purpose. That's their purpose. They were created, the wicked, and created to be destroyed, man. So salvation is not for them. So with that alone, that destroys the Jew and that helps destroy the Jew and the Greek, being so-called white people, which, like I said, ultimately, when you go back, they were Japhetic. They were Japheth, man. You know what I'm saying? And this nigga came, conquered, and took over and took on the identity of as being the Greeks, man. You know what I'm saying? So now they're associated to the Greeks, which, again, that Jew and Greek is going into those Israelite foreigners, those that were Hellenized, man. You know what I'm saying? So this proves that everybody can't be saved. Now, again, if you think that only stops at Esau, it doesn't, man. It's talking about these nations as well, because the scriptures tell you that salvation is of the Jews when you read in John 4:22. You know what I'm saying? Acts, the 5th chapter, around verse 31, it says that the Lord was to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins. You know what I'm saying? In Matthew, the 15th chapter, in verse 24, the Lord said, He is not sent but unto the lost tribes of the nation of Israel, roughly paraphrasing, the house of Israel. So, and there's others, you know what I'm saying? We can keep going on that, but just to name a few. So the scriptures tell you who salvation is for. It's for the Israelites, man. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, when you read up, let's just read up real quick. Everything goes to the Israelites. Romans 9:3, and this is Apostle Paul still in the same chapter. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. There it is. Who are Israelites? So it's all about the Israelites, man, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High and the promises. Salvation is in that. That's everything. It goes to the Israelites. Verse 5, whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all, the Most High, blessed forever. Amen. So there it is. That's the flesh that the Lord came for. That's who He's returning for, to bring that salvation to the Israelites according to the flesh. So it's not a spiritual thing. You have to be born that, man. You have to go back to by the house of your fathers, pursuing the Numbers, the 1st chapter, to one of the 12 patriarchs, man. One of those 12 sons, man. You know what I'm saying? Which were the sons of Jacob / Israel, who had his name was changed from Jacob to Israel when he wrestled the angel and won, man. You know, and he got that blessing, man. And his name got changed to Israel, and it became the sons of Israel, or Banyam, the sons of Israel, or the children of Israel. So that's what's going on, man. But that cut Romans cuts everybody being able to be saved. Esau can't be saved, man. You know, which pulls these other nations into it as well, man. You know, because the scriptures break down who salvation is for clearly. So, you know, I'm gonna end it right there, man. I don't want this to continue to be long and drawn out. So with that, hopefully this was edifying to the hopeful elect. Giving all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect, the house of David, the Bayath Shal Dawadat. Shalom.